This is Michael from Practive Magazine, and this is Seth Godin. Hello, Seth.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. You're like the uber productive guy with one book a year, lots of posts a day even. So how do you manage all this? How do you get this done?
Well, I don't go to meetings and I don't watch television, and I focus very much on things that have leverage and try very hard to avoid things that are stalling.
For example, you're not engaging with users on Twitter or things like that because they would waste your time, right?
Well, I'm not sure it's a waste. I'm just saying I can't do it very well and also do the other things that I want to do. So my goal is to focus on things that I can do well and do them with leverage and passion and not let the resistance slow me down.
Yeah, so you describe yourself in one of the interviews as a person who is starting things. Um, Tell me, how do you manage to follow through? I mean, do you have any support system? What's your trick to make sure that your lizard brain doesn't kick in?
Well, I'm not sure it's tricked. I think that the approach that I have is that the resistance to the lizard brain is a compass. And if it tells me that something is uncomfortable, if it tells me that something is scary, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. I look for it as a clue that I'm on the right track.
Okay, so it's like suggesting you what to do actually next.
That's right. So, you have this built-in thing that shows you what the world is afraid of. And if you do that, you're probably going to do okay.
So tell me, with the Domino project that you launched with Amazon, when do you think the Domino will actually start, moving, or how did it already start moving?
Well, it's called the Domino project because the thought is that we'd like the books to spread like dominoes. That we have a new book coming out today called Anything You Want. And as it spreads, it's going to sell more because we organized it to spread, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is what we're not trying to knock down publishing like dominoes. We're trying to spread books like dominoes.
Okay. And so what would you say, for example, to aspiring authors? Should they actually go and pitch the publishers or try to really do the self-publishing on Amazon?
No, I feel very strongly that you should pick yourself. That you shouldn't be waiting for someone to pick you to give you permission to go and make something happen. And, if that means working with a publisher, that's fine. But I don't think you should let anybody say, no, you can't do that.
When I was following your books, and then you were always known as the marketer, the ultimate marketer. And you switched more to personal marketing, to talk about people, lynchpin and poking the box. Why the switch all of a sudden from marketing to people?
Well, I'm not sure it's all of a sudden. The dip was certainly about this very same thing. And a book I wrote in 1997 called Get What You Deserve. The point is, marketing is not advertising. Advertising is a corporate activity that can be done by committee. Marketing is a personal activity that can be done by a human. And what I found is often when people are stuck on their marketing, it's because personally they're holding themselves back. It's because somewhere along the way they persuaded themselves that they didn't deserve it, or that they needed to wait for something, or that some other thing was holding them back. And so I needed to write about that in order for the whole thing to come together.
Yeah, and actually the Lynchpin book was very impressive for me because my younger brother was in this moment when he just didn't feel appreciated work. So I just sent him the book and told him, read it and think about it again. So I think I'll just motivate him right now to read the Poke the Box again, so that maybe he'll just move faster. And I think more people need things like that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that there's the opportunity of a lifetime here because we're in the middle of a revolution, and the question is, what are you going to do with this revolution? Are you going to waste it, or are you going to use it as a chance of a lifetime?
So practical aspects of blogging, because I also blog, but many people blog, but then they are motivated to blog, they blog, but then they just stop posting. Do you have any other trick that helps you post regularly, or do you save your thoughts for later? What do you do?
Well, I think the most important thing to understand about blogging is if you're blogging for other people, you're going to be disappointed. Even if no one read my blog, I would still blog. And the people I know who blog passionately, all of them say exactly the same thing. And so that is the way you have to look at it. You can't say, I'm not getting enough comments, I'm not going to blog. I'm not getting enough money, I'm not going to blog. You have to say, this is a great chance for me to clarify my thoughts and put them into the world. What an opportunity.
Yeah, good. And then tell me, so when you have all these things, and you say that you don't accept distractions, you watch television, which I also don't watch. Um, do you think what's your typical day like then? I mean, do you have a typical day? Or
I don't have one.
yeah,
I'm very much focused on not having a typical day.
okay, but you still have to find time to write, right?
Well, when I want to write, I write. When I need to write, I write. I think that modeling your day on someone else is a giant mistake.
Hmm. So when you do want to write, and then somebody disturbs you or asks you for an interview, so what do you do then?
Well, I mean, if you talk to just about anyone who's doing a lot of output, they're very good at saying no,
Hmm.
right? That I feel badly about all the places I can't go to speak. I feel badly about all the interviews I can't do and all the people I could reach out to and coach or consult. But I can't do that and do what I'm doing now. So I don't do any consulting, and I rarely do the other sorts of things, even though I'd like to. And
Hmm.
it's that the discipline of saying no becomes really important.
Yeah, definitely. One of, I mean, that's good that sometimes you do speak on conferences because then I can, watch them on YouTube or something. And one of these was about the lizard brain, which was a video I shared on my blog, but mostly I just shared with my wife and friends I needed because not many people understand the thing about the lizard brain. We don't get it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why it was worth writing about, I think. That the argument I'm trying to make is that there's something going on and we need to be aware of it so that we can do something about it. And once it has a name and once people understand what's at stake, they're more likely to take action and do something worthwhile.
Yeah, definitely. And so if you are so busy and you have so much things to do, how do you also balance your family life? How do you find times for for the ones you love, also with everything's going on? Because um, the thing is that if you do something that you really love, you love two things, right? The work and
Sure.
people. So how do you do that?
It's funny. People never say, how do you find time to have lunch or dinner, or how do you have time to
Mhm.
sleep? We don't talk about, lunch work balance. So I'm not sure that I'm not sure I'm interested in a conversation about life work balance. I think that you have to have the discipline to have the life you want to have,
Hmm.
and if you are stealing from one part of your life in order to make the other part work, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah, true, true, so true. I have a small daughter, so whenever she shows up in my home office, then uh, I know what's important, and I just need to find this balance just very easily by just playing with her.
Exactly. Exactly.
So the thing is that people can be sometimes very religious about getting things done or other systems, but I think it's more about just passion and just drive. What do you think?
Well, yeah, I mean isn't that the nature of this revolution that we have right now, right? Isn't the nature of it that we are saying to people, we're not looking for more folks to work in our factory. That's why we have employment. We're saying to people, this is your chance to do work that matters, to do work that you believe in. So why don't you just step up and do it?
Yeah, there's this notion in getting things done about cranking widgets. Like you just have to crank the widgets, so like crank the blog or crank the book and stuff. But it's actually a very depressing way to look at it if you think about it, right?
Right. That's exactly right. And what I guess where I would leave this interview is by saying, uh, there's a fork in the road, and you're going to decide whether you're going to take action or whether you're going to stand by. And my hope is that you'll dig in deep and start taking action.